And of course, I am sad. And I think every decent person, lovers of humanity, should be sad about what happened in Imo State, where 7 soldiers were killed, just like it happened in Okwama community in Delta State, where 17 officers were ambushed and killed. Those officers were supposed to be on peacekeeping mission there, just like it happened in Odi. In Odi, in one of the Ijaw communities, were killed. It's unfortunate that we have bearing men killed by civilians. It's unfortunate. And of course, we we all know what has happened afterwards. In Odi, when it happened in 2000, was it year 2000 or 2001? I can't really put a finger on the date now. Obasanjo simply deployed soldiers there. People were slaughtered, making worse a case of negation of our humanity. Also in Okwama, soldiers moved in revenge mission and slaughtered people, young, old, and of course people fled the town and abandoned the place. And I also heard that the towns were raped. In Abia, if you listen to the reaction of the army command, it's so grieving the way you imagine that we are at war with an external force which have invaded our town. This is where my worry is. And I thought we would have passed the stage where our security forces, in responding to criminal acts against its men, will exercise restraint and as disciplined forces must find a way to put intelligence into work and fish out the masterminds behind all these atrocities against our unbearing men. One thing is very clear, and it's you don't need, it doesn't require rocket science intelligence to know that anybody who planned to kill a soldier wouldn't have come from that community and would have escaped after executing the diabolic act against the Nigerian state. Because killing a policeman on duty or a soldier on a mission is subverting the Nigerian state, is treason. But retaliating in like terms is also not a proper response. The point is, when soldiers now move in, innocent ones are the one that are made to suffer because those who plan and executed the act will have escaped. It's so clear. Nobody needs to be told that the wrong ones have been slaughtered. Take the case of in Imo State. Take the case of a 15-year-old boy. Just taken away. I was just reading this morning when the brother narrated how the boy was traumatized, slapped, kicked, and beaten. And that's after 2 days when they could not locate where he was taken. When such things happen, as will often happen, let us be clear. Since Fela family house was raised down by soldiers because they were looking for somebody who attacked a soldier at a checkpoint said to be one of Fela's boys. I thought that we have had the, the the kind of thing we experienced during colonialism, where soldier moves in to kill natives in the name of pacification, like what we witnessed in the Enugu coal miners engagement with colonial forces and the Aba women riot. I thought we have passed through this stage, that we now have a Nigerian security apparatus and they're dealing with Nigerians within their own geographical border. And we are not at war. Even under war engagement, I mean, as killers can be killed, when I first had killers killed at war front, I said, how could you say it isn't war about killing? But I then got to learn that, I mean, you can win a war without firing a bullet. War is meant to subdue your opponent. You can lead siege until your enemy surrenders. And once an enemy has surrendered, is no longer in a war situation or contest with you. If you kill him or shoot at him, you have committed a crime by international convention. So I think our arm-bearing men should begin to I mean, maybe we need a conference on reorientation. I mean, when we're talking about the restructuring of Nigerian state, I think we also need to restructure our military architecture to bring them to the sensibility, to imbue them with the psychology that they are dealing with people who don't bear arms. You that bear arms should know how to use those arms. We witnessed the Lekki thing. Even let us assume those protesters were throwing stones at them. I mean, they probably have found a way to dispatch them, not to shoot at them. That we kept hearing different stories about a massacre, a dead burial, and people were buried. We also now know that the state governor also got involved in trying to douse things. I mean, it is not right. It is not right. We are no longer under occupation by foreign powers that had to subdue us at all costs and by all means, because they came to the country to exploit our resources. Yes, I mean, no right person would justify, rationalize, no matter whether you are fighting for freedom, whether you are agitating for something, and that does not give you the right to kill soldiers who weren't shooting at you, any passing by. But it's also not correct, and it's also condemnable for soldiers to now, after that event, move into that community in the name of taking revenge, begin to kill innocent ones that stayed behind, maybe old people that wouldn't move, women that wouldn't move. Of course, in such situation, those who suffer are the women and the children. See, women are not likely to leave their children behind, and they are maybe unable to, or they will just stay, thinking that our security forces will be humane enough, will be reasonable enough not to touch women and children, even in battle situation. The young ones will have left. The young ones will have left the community and seek shelter either in bushes or move on to other communities. So at that level, when such things happen, there should be strategic retreat. Go back to the drawing board, hand over the situation to the police, who would deploy their own intelligence to begin to fish out those. After some time, those who perpetrated that may probably return, thinking that all has been forgotten. Then you can then begin to. I mean, we have situation outside the country where the criminal, somebody who committed the crime was arrested 20 years after, 40 years after, because the file was never closed. And one slip will let him out. And we also had situation in Boston when there was a standoff between the police and rioters. For 12 days, no single person was named. No single person was named. Talk about being killed or the whole crowd slaughtered. There's no way I could have imagined that in Nigeria. 12 days? After the third day, the people have been slaughtered like rams. I think we should get away from all this mentality. Let us restore humanity. Let us restore our humanity. People are human beings. Even in other countries, you can't slaughter a fowl publicly. You can't say, oh, you are a devout or a Muslim. Just take your ram, buy your ram and bring it home and with the intention of slaughtering it. Before you realize, the police will pick you up. Even rams are slaughtered decently, at least if only to save some people from the glory of. But when you now slaughter people on the street, the name of avenging is not right. That is the truth. It can't be right. It can't be right. Thank you.